Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to All Praise Picks. Today we're looking at the NBA. We have the Dallas Mavericks playing the Oklahoma City Thunder in OKC for the quarterfinal game of the NBA Cup. So currently, the Dallas Mavericks are 16-8, which is fourth place in the Western Conference, and the Thunder are 18-5, which is first place in the Western Conference. So this should be a great game, especially given that they had a great playoff series in the semi-finals of the Western Conference playoffs last season. So I found a lot of parlays that I like in this one, and as always, I'll show you guys what I got, break down the lines, give you my thoughts, and hopefully if you tap in, we can all win. So this is the first parlay that I have. I included these two because they're pretty similar. The only difference is in the last leg of the first one, I have Kyrie Irving 3 assists, and in the last leg of the second one on the right side, I have SGA 5 assists. But they're both built upon Luka Doncic to have a good game in this one. So Luka overall is just a great player and one of my favorites in the NBA, including SGA as well. But I do think that I lean towards his points and rebounds in this one. Uh, so PJ Washington is questionable in this game with an illness, so I'm unsure if he will play. But if he does not play, I do think that Luka will have a great chance of accumulating rebounds in this one. With Isaiah Hartenstein being added to the Thunder lineup, it would really call for Luka to be closer to the basket, and I do think that with him probably guarding Lou Dort, he'll just be on the weak side baseline and will have a lot of opportunities for over 3 rebound or over 7 rebounds in this game. And I do think that he'll also have a good chance of scoring. He is a walking bucket and honestly could drop 40 in any single game that he plays. So I took him to have over 20 points and 2 threes in this game, as well as with 7 rebounds. So over his last 10 games, he's only gone under 20 points one time where he scored 16 versus San Antonio, but he's also had over 2 threes in every single game that he's played in that span. So I do think that the 3 point shot will be there, and he played very well versus the Thunder in their previous playoff matchup. And I do think that, especially if PG Washington doesn't play, it'll call for Luka and Kyrie, granted, to score more often. So I do think that the ball will be in their hands throughout the entire game, which is why I took Kyrie Irving to have 3 assists in this one. Uh, when looking at the playoff series for Kyrie Irving, he versus the Thunder, he had over 3 assists in every single game, and he had a lot of potential assists, especially towards the end of the series. So I do think that the Mavericks have a pretty good playbook on how to beat the Thunder. They overall in their series, I think they have a winning record over the last 5 games, and I think they'll just continue to have the same type of offensive game plan where it's allowing Luka to score the ball and Kyrie to facilitate the ball. So at minus 155, if you invest 1 unit on this parlay, you have about a 75% return on your investment. And now looking at the parlay on the right side at minus 120, the first 3 lines are all the same. I just included SGA to have over 5 assists. When I mentioned that offensive playbook, when it comes to their defensive playbook for the Mavericks, they really try to force SGA to not have the ball in his hands, which will lead to him passing the ball to his teammates in order for them to score rather than having SGA score and SGA generating a lot of attempts from the free throw line. So I do like him to have over 5 assists in this game. I think that double teaming SGA will leave players like Jalen Williams and Hartenstein open in the extended paint, where Dallas is very poor at defending. I think they're one of the bottom 3 teams in the league in points allowed in the extended paint, which is from the restricted area to the free throw line. So I do think that SGA should be able to generate at least 5 assists in this one. I also looked at his numbers of assists with Chet and without Chet. So with Chet, he has 10 potential assists per game, but without Chet, those numbers go up to 14 potential assists. And he averaged 15 potential assists during the Western Conference semifinal matchup versus Dallas. And he also had 8 assists on 20 potential assists in a game this season versus the Mavericks. So I do think that the potential assists will be there for SGA, especially if Dallas keeps with the same defensive mindset that they have when guarding him. So I do like him to have over 5 assists. So at minus 120, if you invest 1 unit on this parlay, you have about a 80% return on your investment, which is a pretty good return on investment, and especially if the parlay wins. But as always, I would just suggest having bankroll consciousness and an overall understanding of your finances when deciding to place a bet. So this parlay is at plus 145, so it is higher odds than the previous 2 parlays. But I do like Klay Thompson to have over 10 points and 2 made 3-pointers in this one. So in their first game versus the Thunder this season that Klay Thompson played in, he only made 1 3-pointer on 8 attempts, and I do think that he'll just play better overall. There was a lack of continuity that he had with Luka and Kyrie because it was towards the beginning of the season. And I do think that he will play better in this one, and his points can come either from the 3 point line, or going into the lane and scoring layups, and from the free throw line as well. Overall, I just think that he'll bounce back, and having more continuity with his teammates will lead to him having more chances to score in this one. And honestly, the Thunder are favored in this game, which will mean that the Mavericks will likely be losing at some point in this game, which will call for Klay Thompson to take more threes. And I do think that he'll shoot better than 1 for 8, uh, like he did in the last game. So I also included Kyrie Irving to have over 5 assists in this one. So I mentioned that during the Western Conference semifinals, Kyrie played very well in terms of his assists, and he had over 5 assists in 6 out of 7 games with Luka versus the Thunder last season, and over 7 assists in 4 of those games. So I do think, similar to SGA, the potential assists will be there, and he should be able to get assists from Luka, Klay, even PJ Washington if he does play, as well as alley oops to Lively and Daniel Gafford um, throughout this game. So I do think that Kyrie will likely be more of a facilitator than a scorer in this one, similar to what happened during the Western Conference semifinals. So at plus 145, if you invest 1 unit on this parlay, you have a 145% return on your investment, which is a great return on investment. And per usual, just have bankroll consciousness and an overall understanding of your finances when deciding to place the bet. So this last parlay that I have, it at the top includes SGA to have over 25 points. I like this parlay a lot more if PJ Washington does not play, because he would be the primary defender on SGA. But I honestly think that SGA would still be able to score at least 25 points, even if PJ Washington is playing, just because SGA is a phenomenal player in his own right and an MVP candidate last year and this year as well. But I also have Jalen Williams to record 5 rebounds and 3 assists. So with Hartenstein in the lineup, Jalen Williams, his I guess ancillary numbers in terms of his rebounds and assists have increased. And also when looking at his numbers in the playoffs, he had over 3 assists in every single game against the Mavericks in the playoffs. And I think he only went under 5 rebounds one time where he had 4 rebounds. But I just think that with the increased intensity of this being an NBA Cup game, Jalen Williams, SGA, and potentially Isaiah Hartenstein will for sure be on the court for Oklahoma City the most in this one. And as long as Hartenstein doesn't get into foul trouble, he should be able to play more than 30 minutes. But I don't really worry about Jalen Williams or SGA getting into foul trouble because they are pretty sound defenders. So I do think that Jalen Williams should be able to get 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Overall, the Mavericks are kind of middle of the pack when it comes to defending the small forward and shooting guard position, which Jalen Williams can play both of them. So I do think that his rebounds and assists should come pretty easily to him, and especially if he has the intensity that this game calls for. So I also have Isaiah Hartenstein to have 10 points in this game. If PJ Washington doesn't play, I think I like this as well. I do lean towards SGA just because I know that he is a very good scorer, but the Mavericks are just not that good at defending the extended paint from the restricted area to the free throw line, and that's where Isaiah Hartenstein shoots mainly all of his shots, with like push shots and little hook shots and put back dunks and stuff. He should be able to get 10 points, and he is pretty good at even shooting free throws too. So I do expect him to have at least say like 4 free throw attempts, and if he can get 3 of those free throws made and then score 3 more baskets, he should be well on his way to getting over 10 points in this game, especially if the Thunder are keen on how bad the Mavericks are at defending the extended paint. But at plus 150, if you invest 1 unit on this parlay, you have a 150% return on your investment. I will mention that I do like this more if PJ Washington doesn't play, but I'm going to wait and see what the injury report says with his illness to see if he does play. But 150% return on your investment is a great return on investment, and I feel pretty good about all these parlays. I went 3-1 in my NBA video yesterday on the Knicks and Raptors, so hopefully I can continue that momentum into this one and just continue having a good week. So those are all the parlays that I have for you guys. Be sure to check out my Magic versus Bucks video. That'll be uploaded soon, as well as my Chimney Challenge video where I turn $10 into 10K in 10 days. We had to restart the challenge due to a loss by Grady Dick, but it's going to bounce back and get the losses out of the way, and hopefully we can continue the momentum that we had in yesterday's video with going 3-1 into the Chimney Challenge as well. But yep, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Appreciate you guys for watching. Until next time, peace.